Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
Digest on the beat. Digest on the beat. Digest on the beat.
Hello, everyone. We are live with author Robin. She will be discussing her new book that just dropped today. This is about to be an epic show. She has a lot to say about her author life, her books, and anything else she wants to bring up. Hi. Okay, so first we're going to start off with her book that she just released, her self-publishing book for independent women. I have it. I told you I was going to get it. That's for sure. So let's get into that. What made you want to create and drop this book?
Well, since the day I started writing, I've had so many people ask me questions about how did you start writing and how did you publish and who's your publisher, how do you self-publish? And this is from way back in 2012. I'm like, just drop the book, and then everybody's already asking me how did I get, my book online and stuff. So I'm like, I gotta do the research, myself to figure it out. Because when I started, I didn't have anybody to, tell me about publishing. Like, I didn't even know where KDP was. I didn't even know where my publisher was publishing my book. And when I asked, my publisher got really upset that I wanted to know that information. So I just started doing my research. So I was like, once I found out, I was like, it's just, it's just Amazon. So when I figured it out, I was like, you know what? Once I get all this information, I'm going to write a book. And I'm just going to put it in a book. And I'm just going to put it out there for everybody. Because a lot of publishers, if they see this book, they will probably be like, why are you giving, all of this information? And I feel like, why not? Like, we're in a world where everybody wants to be independent, Everybody wants to sign, but that's because that's all they know. They don't know that they can, self-publish and be independent and make their own money. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna write a book and, you know, just put it out there, just basic stuff like, you know, where to put your book, you know, where to upload your book at on Amazon, and, you know, just simple stuff, how the charts work, how to break down the page reads and stuff like that. So, just, you know, people always asking me questions made me want to, you know, write the book.
Exactly. Like what I say on my show all the time is it's not that hard to do your research. Like, you have to figure out what to do. I had to figure out what I had to do when I'm gonna come out with my own publishing company. I'm like, this is a lot. Even though I already knew a lot of stuff in advance, I'm like, this is a lot to know and a lot to learn. And, you know, I have all the time to do that. A lot of people don't really want to do that. So you creating this book is the best thing, because sometimes people don't want to go and research it or anything like that. So the book is...
And a lot of stuff is out of date. You know, when you go Google stuff, a lot of stuff is out of date. You know, there was a time when there was no Kindle Unlimited, and that was only like 4 or 5 years ago, you know. So now when you Google, you're not really going to find that stuff. You're going to have to kind of like figure out a lot of stuff that I wrote about. Honestly, I had to figure it out like literally just from trial and error, just trying to, you know, figure things out on my own. Like, if I Googled it, it wasn't going to pop up, you know, because a lot of this stuff is still new. Like, every day, stuff is changing, like algorithms and, you know, page reads and stuff like that. Every day it's changing, so every day you're going to have to research something, because it's always changing in this digital world. Always.
Exactly. And that is so many great points she just said, because it's true. I mean, she doing the work for me right now. Usually, you know, I'd be like, is there any tips or anything like that? You know, the tip I'm going to give y'all, just go get her book. Period.
Yeah.
Because it has everything.
All the answers are there. Everything, everybody. That's why I keep listening now. They ask me questions, and, you know, I'm like, now I can, instead of answering the question, I'm like, go get the book.
Exactly, because it's just easier that way. Now, I myself did not know that she had a publisher once before. I just automatically thought that you were self-published and that was that. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. So, if you don't mind, who were you signed to before you was like, you know what, I'm just going to go and do this all myself?
Well, I'm always considered myself an indie publisher. Let's just put that out there. That's why you always thought that I was indie, because that's how I put myself out there. I've never put the publishing company that I was signed to before my own name. And that's how people get washed out, because they like to put they feel like if they put the publishing company that they're signed under before them, they'll get more money. But then when you leave that company, you don't have a name anymore, because you were just that company. So when you push yourself more than that company, when you leave that company, you'll be able to have a name for yourself. Like, I was signed to Royalty House. I was signed to Kiki Swenson, and I had a company with one of my pen sisters, Seven McCray. We had Peach Dollhouse, but I was also signed under that too. And then I was also signed under Chamber Sense under a pen name. But I've always put my name first. Always. And I always tell people that when they sign to a company, like, you don't have to put the publishing company first. You can always put your name out there first, brand yourself, because the company that you signed under, they're already branded. When you leave, you're going to be just nobody, because they already have their following. So you want their following to know you. So when you leave, they can follow you. So they won't be like, you know, a lot of people, when they leave these companies, they're sad because they're like, none of my readers don't care about me. Your readers didn't even know you, first of all. They just knew it was this is so-and-so's company, so that's why I'm getting that book. You never put yourself out there as, you know, an author, because when you sign, if you look at your contract, on every contract, you're still an independent contractor. You're not an employee to that company. So a lot of people, you know, they get lost in the company, and then when they leave, they don't have a name for themselves. So I've always made sure I put my name before the company. And I always let publishers know that that's what I'm doing. I'm building my name.
I mean, that's a very valid point, in my opinion, because I'm going to tell you the truth. I did that when I first came out. One, because people already knew me from Wattpad. So everybody that I had on my social media page was my readers who got my books for free, who totally see me evolve with my books. So I said, those are going to be my number one supporters for a long time, even when I do, charge them for my books. If they have Kindle Unlimited, they still getting it for free, but still, so when they seen that I was signed and all this different stuff, they was like, oh my God, her books are worldwide. Oh, let me go get her book immediately. I didn't really think that I had already did what you said until I realized it. I was like, okay, so I honestly was branding myself in the right way, because I was the type of person, very modest, where I was like, don't nobody know me. Don't nobody know Shy Soul. I'm like, don't nobody read none of my books. When they really was reading my books, because I just was the same way from Wattpad. I'm like, ain't nobody reading no books. But I clearly see my numbers and clearly see that people are reading the stories. I was just like, it is what it is. It's...
Yeah, because I always thought that you were indie. I didn't know that you were signed either, so you definitely been pushing yourself instead of whatever company, you were signed to.
Yeah, and I figured, this is why I say this a lot, that just branding on Facebook isn't always the way to go, or that's where all your people is, but there's other ways to go about it to really promote yourself, to get eyes that's not on social media. And then if they are on social media, then they be like, oh, okay, let me get your social media handles or whatever. That's how you go about it. Don't just expect somebody to just click on the book and you're like, okay, let me read it. You got to do more to that. That's why I was always like, ain't nobody read my books. But they really were reading them. So she's been out for a while. And I did the same thing. I did not know. I'm reading her books and I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm just putting pieces together like, oh, I can harass her now. I can bother her and be like, oh my God, I love your books. This, that, and the other. I have always been a reader first. So there's that too. So I'm like, I'm going to bother her. I don't care. Then when I found out she was a publisher too, I'm like, oh my God, she has it all into one. She needs to be on this show so she could be here to give these tips. And then she come out with the book, so that just made it even better. Totally made it even better.
That book came out today. I've been working on that book for the longest. Well, I'll say about a year, but that's a long time to be working on a book. And then I decided to add other authors in the mix in the book. If you go to the back of the book, there's motivational stories and self-publishing success stories from other authors that are self-published and have been self-published. And some of them never even been signed to a publisher. They just started as, authors and made their own publishing company. So I had them write, their success stories in the back. I just want to motivate everybody, because a lot of these authors are miserable in these contracts and they feel like they can't self-publish. And I talk about that too, that, you can still self-publish and be signed,
Yep.
A lot of people just take these contracts and they just sign them and they don't negotiate or anything. You can negotiate these contracts with these publishers and they don't because they're just, ready to sign. Now you got a 12-foot contract and you see all your other author friends self-publishing and you don't know what to do. Because nobody taught you, you don't know no better. You just going by what you already know, and you see everybody that's signed, so you're like, all right, well, I'm going to sign too, not knowing you could have did all this stuff yourself. But a lot of people don't like to put in that footwork because it's not easy. You got to pay for editing, you got to pay for covers. When you sign to a publisher, you don't have to pay for none of that stuff. But then you still have to push yourself. Either way, you're going to have to put in some type of effort. But a lot of people think if they sign, they don't have to do nothing. But no, you still have to work.
Exactly. And a lot of people, like you said, they was like, oh, you don't publish your own books? I'm like, no. If you look at my covers, you see it's a name that is, my publisher. They was like, you know so much to be this age. So we automatically thought, that you did this, that, and the third. I'm like, no. I just did my work and really learned this industry before I got into it, because Wattpad and all that, that's messy. It's just the same as the urban industry, the same way,
Oh yeah.
the same
It's not
way.
worse.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's why I was like, sometimes I took breaks from all that and, wrote my books in a certain way so I wasn't overwhelmed. That's why I prepared myself for everything for this now. So I can write a book and get it done without rushing myself. And people
Right.
come to me like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. How do you write all these books at once? Because I trained myself to be able to write multiple books at once, maybe 2 to 3 at the same time. And like, you don't get like, mixed up or confused. I'm like, no. They was like, do you write an outline? No, I don't do an outline for none of my books. Like if I'm coming up with a different
Yeah,
character,
freestyle too.
yep, I definitely freestyle because that's just how I write. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a big full 5 notebooks or more with all these scrambled notes. That's it. But other than that, it's all coming from my head. I'm like, don't follow what I'm doing because it may not work for you. You may be the type of
I preach that
author.
all the time.
Exactly. You may be that type of author that needs an outline or needs a guide or something like that. Or you need that little push. Me, I could just come up with a story and then that just be that.
Yeah. But after you write so many stories, you be like, not I don't feel, but it's like, you kind of get the hang of it. Because I remember when my first book, I did so much research. Oh my God, did so much research down to just like the cars that they were driving. Because I felt like that's what I needed to do. But then I'm like, this is fiction. If I want these people to be flying around, I can do that. But yeah, it's different for everybody. And then it's different every story too, because some stories I can freestyle and then some stories I'm like, okay, I need to do an outline. I need to, write some stuff down. I need to do a little bit of research.
Exactly. Now, when I tell you guys that I've read almost most of her books, like seriously, I have. Like I tell you guys all the time, every author that comes on the show, I've always read one or most of their books. Now, the book that I read and finished in 2 weeks, literally, was her urban book, A Girl from Compton.
Oh, man.
And when I told her, I said, I'll finish the book. She was like, you what? I was like, yeah, I finished the book. I was really into it. It has so much to it, so we're about to talk about that.
Okay.
So, first off, what made you write this urban book out of all her others? What made you write this one?
Well, out of all my urban books, this one is probably the most street.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really based in Compton, where the actual area where I'm from. And the events in the book, I don't want to give the book away, really happened. It really happened in that fashion, A lot of people get killed because they want to mess with the other side, You read the book and you seen what happened. So I just kind of wanted to touch on something different than, with one gang, they only date with that one gang. I wanted to show the other side where some gang member girls, they go to the other side, and they mess with the other side. And a lot of people don't like to talk about that. But it's so close to home. I didn't do it, but it's so close to home. I feel like I should write about it, to the point to where a lot of my friends were mad because they thought it was about them. But it wasn't about them, because it didn't just happen to them. Like, it happens a lot, but it's not talked about. It's not talked about a lot. So I kind of wanted to touch on that because I knew a lot about it.
Now, when I read the book, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. This feels like a movie. It feels like, I'll put myself in the scenes and everything like that. That's how realistically she wrote the book. Now, the parts where you're telling me about that, and I'm like, now it's all adding up. Now, see, your friends that read the book, they're basically reading about themselves, and that's why they got so mad. Like, is she, is she doing this about me? I know, you know what I'm saying? When I read the book, I've never been through nothing like that ever. I'm a suburbs girl, so I'm reading like, let me put my mind in the sense of somebody out of a movie. That's how it made me feel. I'm like, this is really good.
I also wanted to put, in the book that it's not everybody from the hood ain't always hood. Like, there's always a hood ass family, and then they got that good girl that they want to keep away from it, and she always wants to, be in the mix when they trying to push her out. And then when she gets pushed out, she goes to find her own way, and then that's how she ends up messing with the other side. Like, everybody from the hood don't be hood, but they do like the hood, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does. And she did really, really well with this book. I mean, from all the characters, of course you're going to have a favorite character with Robin's books. That's for certain.
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I've never been none through that at all, but I connected myself with one of the characters, and after I got done with it, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on,
And I like to write like that. I like for people to feel like they're actually in the book, because that's why I started writing. I used to read so much, so I just got bored with, like, I can't place myself in these books no more. So I just thought, when I write, I'm actually putting myself in all these different positions, because if I don't, then it's going to be dry, and then people not going to feel it like I want them to feel it. So I have to actually get into character when I'm writing these books.
Exactly. Now with your other stories, the one I really, I told her about it after I got done with it. I was like, Robin, I know you did. And I had called her and she didn't answer. I was like, oh, I was about to go off. Oh my God, that story was so good. I told her I had finished it. This was couple of weeks back. And she was like, you gotta read the book we were just talking about. She was like, you gotta read this, because that's my most urban book. But the book I'm talking about, that book was out of Robin's norm. Literally. And you definitely know which one I'm talking about, because the title just can't come to my head right now. I'm so sorry.
It must be sick.
Yes. Oh my, I almost lost it when I finished the book. I was like, if she don't answer this phone, I should send her a paragraph about this book. It was so good. It was really, really good.
That was my first try at psychological thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not paranormal. It's more kind of like horror and kind of just like getting into people's heads.
Yes, and it definitely got into mine. And I read a lot of those. That's like really like my main genre. I really like to read that and romance. So when I seen she was writing this, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting it. As soon as it dropped, I was like, I'm getting it. And you guys know I don't have Kindle Unlimited. I buy all the books. No, I buy all the books. So I was like, I'm buying this. This book is so good. And it's urban too. Man, I was in my room losing it. I almost threw the phone and everything. I'm like, what?
The second part won't be urban. The second part won't be urban. It'll just be a full psychological thriller. That as a main character, she's actually a little white girl. I'm trying to just step out of urban fiction and see what else I can write.
That, like, it had me like trippy. That was the thing. It had me very, very trippy. And
a lot of people were saying that it was staying on their mind for like weeks. Like, they couldn't stop thinking about the book and the different stuff that happened and stuff that people was going through. I actually had one of my authors, she was actually scared. She couldn't even get past like the first 3 sentences, and she was so scared to read it.
yeah, now see, I wasn't scared to read it at all because of the author that's writing it. When I see authors who are, they write just one genre and then they try something new, that's what really, really makes me want to read it. That's what I want other people to do when I come out with my paranormal and psychological and all that type of stuff. It's the reason I changed my name too. But anyway, I'm like, because when you certain names with the genres that you write, it appeals to your readers, little things like that. But her, plus her name, it kind of clicks with almost everything, so she could just dip into anything she wants to, and it's no problem at all. I'm like, Shy Soul and paranormal just don't go together. So I'm like, yeah,
No,
no.
that's the urban name.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, no. So I had to come up with a name that's kind of like a mix of both, so I could still have my urban reader fans and then psychological, crazy, paranormal fans and all that twisted romance stuff,
But
you know?
You'd be surprised what these urban fiction readers read. You know, when I dropped mine, I was like, they not gonna read this. Even though I slapped urban on it, they still not gonna read it. And they fell in love with it. And then when I dropped the cover for book 2, and I told them that it wasn't gonna be, they were still into it because a real reader's gonna read anything. They read all genres.
Mm-hmm. You know, and you have a good point about that, because I had a reader, this was way back, when I first worked on my first paranormal book. She was like, Shy. She's like, what is you doing? You know, she made a comment on the book. She's like, what are you doing? You dipping into some Harry Potter type stuff? And that kind of took a little offense to that, because I'm like, was she being jokingly or was she being, you know, serious? She was being serious, because I later found out that she unfollowed me just because I uploaded that book. I'm like, wow. Okay,
wow.
The negativity is gone, but I'm going to keep writing this book. I don't care, you know, because it was my first one and I was really into it. I have always been into it. I just didn't know the route to go with a paranormal story, because, you know, it's so much you can do with it, but you don't want to be cliche at the same time, because, you know, the werewolf and everything that's been done over a million times. So you want to be different. Now, when she did her story, and plus the cover, I really, really liked the cover. It was simple, but yet it gave you the different sense of what you're writing. You know, I'm a graphic designer, so I can pinpoint where you were going with that. And you did really well. She didn't have a person on the cover or anything like that. I'm like, I like her covers because of that. Most her covers, she has just symbolism on her cover. She doesn't have people on there sometimes. And I'm like, I like it. And she was like, who gonna buy some covers? I'm like, me. He was like, you're already a graphic designer. I was like, I don't care. I have a publisher. I can tell him to get it. I'm going to send it to him and be like, I really want this. I don't care if I buy it myself. I want this, you know.
Right.
And it's not just support. It's just that I do buy other graphic designers' covers. And they always ask me, why do you do that when you could do it yourself? First of all, I could spend my money on any graphic designer I want to, because if they have bomb covers, I'm going to want that. I'm not just going to look at it and be like, ooh, I can make this myself. No, I want hers with my name on it, you know? So, yeah, it's just little things like that. Now, let's get into this wild urban industry. Oh, God, it's been messy.
Oh, man.
It's been messy for a couple of days, weeks now.
Sheesh. It's been messy since the beginning of the time. Talk about days. You mean months and years?
Yeah. So, we all know that Robin speaks her mind, period. She does not care. She will speak her mind, not be ran over, but how do you feel, and I love asking this question, how do you feel about our industry? What is your take on it?
I love it. But it doesn't love me back.
True.
But I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's room for all of us. You know, people don't have to like me, but they gonna respect me. Because they know if they don't, it's gonna be a problem. But I keep the peace. I'm all about, you know, positivity. You know, I don't say a lot of things. I don't jump into a lot of stuff. I see a lot of stuff every day. I see people getting scammed. I see people stealing work. You know, I see people, you know, stealing cover designs. I see a lot of stuff, and sometimes I might read the comments, you know, and I keep going. But I've been around so long that I'm immune to a lot of stuff that happens, so it doesn't even faze me anymore. You know. Because I'm always love the industry. I'm always love to write. I'm always love to design. I'm always love to help people and publish, you know. And the ones that don't like it, then, you know, just stay away from me.
Right.
I'm not going nowhere. I've seen a lot of people vanish because they feel like the urban, you know, fiction community is too messy and too ghetto and, you know, too many scammers. But it's all about the way you move. You I tell people all the time, you got to build relationships with people before you start spending money with them and sending your books to them. You know, all these test readers and that's really authors stealing work. Like, you got to really get to know somebody before you get to, you know, send them your work and stuff like that. But a lot of stuff don't bother me, and a lot of stuff don't make me mad. If anything, I'll be laughing.
Right.
I laugh at a lot of stuff, you know, because I be feeling like a lot of stuff can be handled behind closed doors, but everybody want to put, you know, stuff out there to only be friends the next day. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't have a problem with the urban fiction world. I love the urban fiction world. I wish everybody's the best in what they doing, you know, and that's that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm really immune to this stuff. Like, I've been through worse situations in this industry than the watered down stuff that's going on now. Like, everything that's happening now is watered down. In 2013, 2014, 2012, that's when it was really going down, when people was actually beefing and writing stories about the person that they beefing and putting their names in the book and didn't care. And they were putting them on the covers, you know, and, you know, mocking them, and just all kind of stuff that happened that was way deeper than the stuff that's going on now. I done seen people is fussing about getting scammed. They don't even be scammed. People be fussing about they get stuff back late, or, you know, somebody didn't, you know, overcharge them, or just little stuff. You know, I done seen people get scammed out of $10,000, or people that really can't get their books back, or just completely got their rights snatched from up under them. So all this little stuff that be going on now is funny to me.
Exactly. Now, me, everybody know, and the ones that don't know, I don't know why you don't understand this. I'm the most quiet kept person that you will probably ever meet. If you see me posting something, you see me posting about something new I done came up with, my book, especially my books, especially graphic design, everything like that. You don't never ever see me posting about anything negative, because it's not the type of person that I am. I'm not gonna blast anybody. I'm not gonna do anything like that, because I'm not about to waste my time and energy. Literally, I will post about, yo, keep that negative energy, and I'm gonna clean my page with some sage. When I posted that, they was like, you crazy. They was like, you crazy, but you right. Literally, if I could.
That be making them long posts and all this drama stuff, be all in these comments, be the same ones talking about they got writer's block and they can't write, they ain't dropped the book in $25,000 a month, and that's why. Like, the same energy you put into these comments and all this mess, you can go and put it into your books and make some money and get you some readers.
Exactly, and people really think that karma is not real. It really is, because, like, you gonna put bad on somebody that is a really, really good person, you know, and you think your books are gonna do so well and all this stuff. It's gonna be some person out of the clear blue sky. It's gonna come out of nowhere, and it's gonna be a reader or somebody who just dislikes you for no reason, or has a reason, and will be reporting your book, and every time you post it in the group, you get banned, or your page is in jail lock and all the little extra stuff. And you're like, I don't know what's going on. You know what's going on. It's called karma. That's exactly what you got. Now you can't post anything. Now all of a sudden you gotta create a new page, and here come that same person and her little birdie or whatever doing the same stuff. Like, you think that's not gonna happen, and it is.
So what I learned about that is a lot of that stuff passes by. I done seen people get blacklisted. I done seen people been scammed, then come right back into the game. Like, to this day, I be seeing people like, dang, didn't you just scam this person, now you back? Or didn't you steal this person's work and now you back? Like, stuff only lasts for 24 hours, and then it's back. It'll be somebody on a post, and they'll be talking mess about you. As soon as you drop a book, they gonna be supporting it. I don't even be paying that no mind.
Exactly.
I don't know how many times people that said they're not gonna read my books, but they really did. Like,
you know, honestly, and I always say this, I just think that stuff is just for the clout of it. You know, they do that little stuff, get all these shares, you know, get all these people to go on the like page and all this stuff. Now you got this many views and all this many comments and all this stuff. And then be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that or anything like this. It wasn't supposed to go that way. But then now you have all these new people on your page and they're like, oh my God, you were right. And it's just a lot. We done seen this so many times. And I'm like, why would you need that negative energy to make you popular or something like that?
I done had people curse me out on the post in the past about stuff and then come back like a couple of days later apologizing because they knew they was wrong. Like,
exactly. And me being the type of person I am, I'm like, I'm just not here for it at all. I'm just going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to go write my book like I was doing or doing what else I was doing and leave it at that. You're not about to get no Facebook war with me where I'm doing post after post. No. No. I'm going to be drained.
Messy authors, there's authors that, you know, you manage to sell books, but that only lasts so long. I done seen that happen so many times. There's so much stuff I done seen in this industry that just came and went. Like, that stuff only lasts so long. What's going to keep you around? Being loyal and being solid and building your own lane. People only like mess for so long. Even people that are messy, they only like it for so long, you know, and your book sales don't stop. Like,
exactly. They're going to be like, oh, it's too messy.
Yeah.
And like you said, then they're going to go on to the next person. Like, how does that even work?
You know?
But, where do you see yourself going with your books? And I always ask this dramatic question in the next 10 years.
Oh, my God. 10 years? Let me see. What is 10 years from now? We just barely get to 2020, child. And you want me to think about 10 years. No, it's 10 years. So I'm hoping in 10 years my daughter is an author and an editor. My 9-year-old by then. And I have an established publishing company, and I'm officially in maybe writing for TV or writing in a different genre, because I've noticed my writing is going to a stage where I write like I'm writing for TV. So when that time does come, it'll be easy for me to write it in like a screenplay. You know, it's already laid out for me. So I kind of don't put a lot of extra edits in my book for stuff like that. But I see myself probably writing for TV, having an established publishing company. Hopefully my daughter is writing and editing by the end.
Right. Now, the reason I asked that question is because I speak into the existence. You see me make posts like that all the time. Like, I'm going to write a script for Tyler Perry and it's going to be turned into a movie one day. Or my stuff's going to be on Netflix and all of those stuff like that. I always do that. I always speak into existence because I think that stuff is really true. Because I didn't see so many success stories with authors that I have talked to on this exact podcast and the stuff didn't happen. So, like, I take my podcast as such good luck, you know, to give stuff to new authors and upcoming authors and all that, because I was once the same way. You know, my little quote-unquote success didn't just happen overnight. It took me a long time from being a teenager to a young adult. So I've been working really hard at this stuff, graphic design and everything else, you know. And I just think that writing is going to take me someplace, and especially my graphic design, because I want to be able to be in production with movie covers and all the other stuff. And maybe one day I'll be making my own movie cover. You know, little things like that. That's why I have authors give that little sense. And then when they go back to the show, be like, see, I said it and it came true. You know what I mean? Little stuff like that.
I feel you. I'll come back and listen to this in 10 years and see. To see what happens.
Exactly. Now, I'm trying to think. How many books will you have? Like, you have a lot of books. I was like, let me think. How many books will you have all together by next year? You have a lot of books. Yeah, you have a lot of books.
Yeah, I do. I have so many books in line to where I have to give some of my ideas away. Like with my, I have the Zodiac series. That series was supposed to be my series, but I'm like, I have all these other projects, so I'm like, you know what? When I posted it, the first time I posted, I had so many authors like, dang, that was a good idea. That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of why did I think of that? So now, a year later, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get some authors to, write on that series. So, but by the end of next year, I probably have a good 60 books out. I have 40-something out right now.
That's a good accomplishment. And do you know how salty I was? Guys, I was so salty when I seen Capricorn was taken. I'm like, I'm the realest Capricorn ever. I know all the zodiacs. I know everything. I'm so into that stuff. And then my sign gets taken first. I was so like, wow. I was like,
Yeah, I was going to write on that one. I actually started that one. But I'm not even writing on the series anymore. I'm just going to be a host. So shout out to Kat Cole. She's going to do the Aquarius and Capricorn. That's exclusive. She's going first. I'm hoping I can get her to drop on the 8th. Hopefully she hears this and knows that I want her to drop on the 8th.
Kat, sis, you know I love you. My birthday, January 16th. If you can get Robin to drop it on my birthday, that would be dope. But I was like,
when your birthday?
January 16th.
Okay, no, I'm trying to get her to drop on like the 8th.
I know. I was like, I'd have been like that. That was gonna be so perfect. I was so salty. I was so salty. I'm like, damn, a publisher. I'm like, man, listen. I just want to write about Capricorn.
It's easier for me to work with people that are already self-published. I don't have to go through publishers and I don't have to, hear their mouths and, so I just deal with self-published people.
Oh, he would have let me do it. He just hit me with that. Now, you rewriting your own story. How you gonna do that? You need to get your story done. I was like, man.
That's what I told my authors, too. They wanted to be on it, too. And I'm like, nah, so you ain't turned in that part 2 yet. You ain't turned it. How you gonna work on something and you ain't finished with what you were already working on?
Exactly.
That's just a part of being signed. Because when you indie, you're like, so what? I can drop all my other project and work on this, but you can't do that when you sign. And that's why I'm pushing self-publishing.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with my publisher keeping me focused, because he know I will write multiple books. But he was like, I know this book was really, really important to you, so he's like, I want you to really stay on track with this book. Now he was like, if it was any other book, then I'd been like, yeah, but this one, He was like, I know you trying to put all your energy into this. I believe in this book, so I can't let you do that. I'm like, man, listen. The Capricorn in me is, I know. That's why I was like, I'm going to have to ask her, can I do my own version maybe sometime? Because I had an idea to do something like that for one of my own books. But, I was like, I don't know how to go about the story yet, because I was going to make a character like that out of my sign, because it's so much with our signs that's so bunched up into one. Because, me and my mom are both Capricorns. Her birthday is only a couple of days after. No, before mine, right? So, me and her butt heads just a little bit because we're two different Capricorns. Me and her are not compatible at all. Your same sign is not compatible with you, and I didn't tell her that so many times. I'm like real goofy and full of energy, and then she'll just be looking at me like, now you need to sit your ass down.
Calm down.
Yes, that's her type of Capricorn sign. She's calm and all that. Me, I'm to myself with high energy. She just be like, She'll just be sitting there watching her ID channel, and I'm want to go play my game or write my book and do all this extra. She was like, can you sit down? You got that much energy, And I noticed that. And, like you said, you're doing the book. She's writing the book with Capricorn and Aquarius. My best friend is an Aquarius, and we don't butt heads at all. We're very, even though they say Capricorn and Aquarius are not compatible, me and him are very compatible. We're the same person, just a different sign. Same person. Then, I know you're probably going to be like, what? My boyfriend is a Pisces, and we butt heads all the time. He gets on my nerves.
No.
And they say we compatible, and he gets on my nerves, and I know he listening to this show. You get on my nerves, the last nerve I got.
Well, I just found out that we're more than one sign. We have three different signs in us. So we have a sun sign, a moon sign, and then we have a Venus sign.
Mm-hmm.
So with me, I'm a Libra, Virgo, Cancer. So my face, I'm a face of a Virgo, but my emotions, I work on Libra emotions, and my work ethic is like a Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to look that up. You have to look up because that's probably why you and your mom is probably incompatible. You got to look up all three of your signs because you'd be surprised what you really are.
I'm definitely gonna do that after this show because my emotions, like, I'm a very, very emotional person, right? I'd be like, get so mad to the point where I'm like, I want to cry right now. That's my type of emotions. I'm a very happy-go-lucky person, very, very happy person. Even when there's something bad going on, I still got a smile on my face. I try to make everybody feel better. I'm that type of person. That's me. So I'm definitely going to have to look into that. That'll probably really, really help me when I want to do my Capricorn character. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a paranormal story with that. Because I could do some real fairy tale like stuff with that because our sign is weird. We're a freaking goat. We're a freaking goat, for Christ's sake.
What is that? Yeah.
Exactly. What is that? We're a goat. So that's so many things you can do with that, and I'm like, what, I'm gonna try and do something like that, something very different, because my publisher, when I said, he's the one that gave me the idea to change my pen name since I want to go into paranormal and still do urban. So he said you can do whatever paranormal book you want to, but he said just for your first book, just let that be urban, and then after that, do any other paranormal book you want to, have your whole full series and all the little extra stuff. I'm like, yes,
because
honestly.
You wanna let people feel you out in the genre that you started in before you start moving on to something else, because you don't even know if people like you that much in your original genre to be moving on to the next one, You want to get people comfortable enough with what you already working on before you move on to something else, because that's what I did. It took me years. I've always thought about writing in different genres, but it took me to last year to, actually come out, and I was still nervous, and I still am, because I still have other books in progress. Like, I have a sci-fi book that I'm working on, and I'm just still not comfortable with stepping into another genre just yet. But I do have a lot of stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah, me too. I have some crazy, crazy stories, and people know my stories as twisted. They already know me as the drama queen. They're like, she don't never give her characters a break. Never. She never gives them a break. Things can be going so good, and then here she go, twist around. Her boyfriend get killed while she pregnant, something like that. Yeah, they know me as the twisted writer. So I just love writing like that. Not too realistic, because you want your reader to be able to fall into the fantasy and be like, I just love that book, even though it has so many twists and turns, But me, I still do that, but I'm gonna be as twisted as I want to be. I'm gonna put some crazy in there, and they're gonna be like, I hate you for that. I'd had, like, my last book.
That's why I'm ready to switch different genres, because I can write, with different genres, you can write whatever you want. When you writing with urban fiction, they want everything to be realistic, and it's fiction. It says fiction, but they still want you to be realistic for some odd reason.
Now, the new book that I'm doing, because after this year and then a little bit into next year, there's not going to be any more Shy Soul books. These books is the last books you'll ever see. When you see my new name and you read the book, they're going to be like, whoa. This book, I don't want anybody to cry when they read the book, but I know it's going to happen, because I already cried when I finished the whole book, and now I'm rewriting it, so I'm going to cry again, for Christ's sake. I already know what's going to happen, because I put so much of that emotion into it. So I'm going back into that place that had me like, oh my God, I don't really want to rewrite it again, because I already knew how it had me before. I was so emotional with the book, and I'm like, I want this character to have a happy ending. But then again, she's going through so much that my character, because you know your characters talk to you, and like she's like, maybe in book 2 you can give me a happy ending, but right now I need to do some crazy stuff. She put me through the ringer. I'm like, you driving me crazy, and I'm the author. What? You know, so my mom, she understands it. You know, the people around me understand it, but anybody else be like, you talk to your character, you're crazy. I don't mean it like that. I don't just be talking to the wall, having a full conversation, people, with my, no.
You gotta get into character.
Yeah, like that, but people be thinking like you're crazy or something. I don't mean like that. Pause. I'm not talking to little Annie in the corner now. Chill out. Okay, I'm just trying to brainstorm with this character. That's all it is. We almost all authors do that. Okay?
Yeah, we do. We all have our different ways of how we're gonna bring these characters to life.
Exactly. And this character, she resurfacing, so now she's the character that's taking over everything. This character is just so much. Then she has her own personal condition and all that, psychologically, so it's a lot. And it's draining. You have those characters that are draining. And that's one of them.
Yes.
That's definitely one of
You
them.
know when a character is draining when you just kill him. Like, you know what?
Right.
I'm finna make this mother go through a tragedy.
Right. And that character won't let me do that. Like any other character, I just shoot him up, bang, bang, that's it. This character, it's like she has a story to tell. Like she's actually a real person. Like she's getting interviewed by Oprah or something like that. She's one of those characters. You know? Just so much. Like she's like, this is the type of character that will speak to real people that has gone through or is going through what she's going through. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of emotion I'm going through. So, and I know it's a lot of other authors that went through that, because I don't want this to be a yearly book.
One of your books and read one. Which one do you recommend for me to read?
Now, the book I recommend too, but my top one is Black Flame. I don't know if you read that one yet, but that book will trip you out. That's the book that I fell in love with, because I wrote in a whole male's perspective. That was my first time ever doing that. So, it was crazy. I had to go ask my male friends all types of weird questions, and it was a lot. I had to do so much research, and yeah. And then the other book is A Thug's Fatal Love. That's like my really first romance crime like novel. It's gonna be a series, but novel. Those are my top 2. Anybody who asks me, those are my top favorite books I ever wrote, especially Black Flame. And it's a short story.
All right. I'm gonna know them and I'm gonna check them out.
You gonna be mad with Black Flame? You gonna be like, because the first chapter is what really trips you out. Like, what just happened? You know, well, almost with all my books, it's gonna be that question: what just happened? What did she just do? Yeah. So
I need some good books to read. I need to be reading right now.
Right, that's what I be saying too. So, like we said, her book just came out today. You need to get it. Get it in paperback. Paperback.
Yes.
No ebook.
Paperback.
No. Okay? Paperback. You need that.
Because there's a notebook in the back. Because I asked a lot of questions throughout the book. So I give you a space to, write the questions in the back and write all your thoughts. Because the book is going to leave you thinking. It's actually a book that you can just read through. Because it's not just a whole bunch of tips and, it's not a get rich book or anything like that or how you're going to make sales. I don't talk about anything like that. Because everybody don't make money, the same way with books. So I didn't talk about that. I just put a lot of motivational stuff because a lot of people fall off because they're not motivated. So I feel like people need something positive, other than just how to get to the bag. You gotta stay positive first before you start trying to, get money.
Right.
So it's a really positive book.
It really is. I just can't wait till I get it in the mail. I'm gonna be like, yes. Because now I don't have to ask her many questions. Right.
Every screenshot I've seen, it says deliver Wednesday. So I'm sure everybody's going to be showing me pictures on Wednesday.
Right, because I'm like, I do not want to ask her a million questions because I sure was about to. But
I already had somebody say they still gonna ask me a million questions.
oh God, that sounds like me. So this is the time where you get to give your shout outs and you get to tell everybody where your books are at. If they're elsewhere other than Amazon, which I know they are, so this is the time you get to do that.
Yeah, basically all my books are on Amazon. You can find me on Amazon. You can just type, see, my name is mixed up with all the other Robins. So you just have to go, you can go Amazon.com/author/Robin Connor. Because if you type in Robin, you're going to get every Robin. Actually, when you type me in on Goodreads, the white link face pops up, but then it's all of my books. So, you know, or you can go on my website, BrandBulliesUSA.com. You can find me there. Yeah.
And your shout outs, because I know you got a lot of them, because her publishing company, Brand Bullies, is the bomb.
I'm just going to say, I'm going to give a shout out to Brand Bullies, all of Brand Bullies, everybody, the whole team of Brand Bullies, my partners, my fiance, Benny Cool, all my authors, who is it, Brittany, Celeste, Ruby, Cameron. See, that's why I want to do shout outs, because I can't think of everybody. So everybody on Brand Bullies, everybody that I talk to every day, shout out to all y'all, all the readers. Thank y'all so much. Yeah.
I love you so much. This podcast was everything. It was so refreshing. I put all my energy into this, and I still have all my energy because Robin does that. I know I had her cracking up. I'm gonna post about that too.
Yeah.
But you got her information. I will definitely post it over and over again. I love you. She loves you. And have a great night. Bye.
I know.
Digits on the beat.